He's the head coach of your San Diego State Aztec football team. That is Rocky Long. Rocky, Dave, and Jeff, welcome back. How we doing?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Doing great, Rocky. Can't tell you how excited we are for this 2012 season. As we head into tomorrow night against Washington, what do you like about your club?
I like their enthusiasm. I like the effort and toughness that we've shown in practice. The only thing that I'm concerned about is some inexperience up front. But other than that, I think our team's ready to go.
You know, Rocky, that's not the answer I thought you were going to give us. Last time Jeff and I saw you, Jeff and I were watching, we're talking to each other. Man, these guys look great. They're big, they're fast, they're tough, they're in great shape. Rocky, what did you think? I didn't like anything. So I didn't think we'd get a compliment the day before the game. But I'm glad to hear these guys are moving in the right direction. As far as guys doing things the way you want them done, do you see them so far?
Well, I think we've made a lot of improvements since you were out at practice. I think we've eliminated a lot of mental errors, even though in every game you're going to make some. I think the younger guys that we're counting on have a lot more confidence in what they're doing and how they're doing it right now. They just don't know how fast the game's going to be. I can still remember, it's a long, long time ago, I can still remember playing in my first college football game, and things moved so much faster than they did in practice. My head was spinning.
Coach, do you still get the same kind of butterflies enthusiasm for opening day?
Yeah, I do, but everybody says it's either exciting or you're nervous or whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but I get a knot in my stomach. I sure do.
You know, as a coach, are you one of those guys that sits there and you get a chance to enjoy the win, or as soon as the game's over, you immediately start thinking about the next game?
Well, I enjoy a win until I get on the bus or the airplane heading out of the stadium, and then I start worrying about who we play next.
Talking to Aztec head football coach Rocky Long tomorrow night, 7:30 Pacific time in Seattle to take on Steve Sarkisian's Washington Huskies. Steve Sarkisian's done a very, very good job up there, Coach. What concerns you the most about the Huskies?
Well, I agree with you. He's done a great job. He's done a wonderful job of recruiting. He's really improved the talent level of that team. He's got them where they believe. They're playing with great confidence. The biggest concern we have is, like I say up front, they're big and strong on both sides of the ball, and we're big and strong too, but we're kind of young. But they have a great quarterback. I mean, their quarterback's on the fringe of being a Heisman Trophy candidate. If he plays really, really well, he might be in the Heisman hunt. He had a great year last year, threw for a bunch of yards, bunch of touchdowns, completed over 60-some% of his passes. So obviously we have to try to contain him or put pressure on him so he doesn't have that kind of day against us.
Rock, we keep hearing that the crowd noise could become an issue. What did you guys do to prepare for the crowd?
Well, we've heard it's the loudest stadium in the NFL, so 3 nights we had crowd noise going during parts of practice, and it did make a difference. I mean, it was really loud. I'm sure the neighborhood wasn't real happy with it. We had a little trouble concentrating, a little trouble communicating with the noise out there, but each time they got a little bit better, so I don't think it's going to be an issue.
Talking to Coach Rocky Long again tomorrow night, 7:30, they kick it off. The Aztecs in Seattle to take on Washington back home a week from tomorrow against Army. Kickoff for that game is 4:30 for the home opener. You can get all your tickets by calling 619-283-7378. You can always head to goaztecs.com. Okay, Rock, as a fan, I look at Ryan Katz and I say, here's a guy who played in the Pac-12 for Oregon State. He's going into a big-time, noisy atmosphere tomorrow with Washington. He should be able to handle this, probably a little bit different than other first-year quarterbacks. Am I right?
I completely agree with you. He's been in the arena before. He's been in big stadiums. He's played in big games. I don't think he probably has nerves too, like we all do, but I think he'll perform really well. I don't think it's like putting a rookie quarterback out there that's never been there before and wondering what's going to happen. I think he'll be a little tentative early because everybody on both sides, their side and our side, will be a little tentative early, but after a while he'll settle in, and it's a lot better than a first-year quarterback.
Rocky, how's the health of your team? Are most of the guys still feeling pretty good?
Yeah, we're only missing one. Deshaun Hardwick would have been on the travel squad, and he's got a little bit of a groin issue that they're trying to figure out what's wrong with him and what to do about it right now. But everybody else is healthy and ready to go.
One thing we hate to do is you don't like to single out players because it feels like there's too much focus on one guy. But Rocky, the Aztec fans are excited. We talked about Katz, but also another guy that I don't think we brought up last time you were on is Bryce Butler, the kid who came down here from USC, another guy who has played in big-time games. What have you liked about Bryce Butler to this point?
Well, Bryce is an experienced receiver that's tall and lanky, and, I mean, he can beat you deep. He can go up and get the ball. I think the strongest part of our offense is in our receiver core. I mean, last year we didn't have any. This year I think we have 6 quality wide receivers that are going on the trip. Hopefully Ryan Katz can spread it around and get it to all of them, but Bryce is kind of our deep threat. And, you know, you get him on the streak or the fade route on the outside, they can have him covered, and he's still tall enough to go get it.
You know, Rocky, this is our favorite time of year. Jeff and I always look forward to college football and the NFL getting started. We just can't get enough football, especially here on San Diego Sports Leader XX1090. Yesterday, college football got going. Just curious to know, as a college football coach and a guy that spent so much time with the Aztecs, on your time off, do you ever watch other college games?
Well, I don't usually get to, but the first game of the year, you've been preparing for the other team for about 2 weeks. So when it comes Thursday of your first game, you have a little time on your hands. So I sat there last night from about 6:30 until whenever the UNLV-Minnesota game was over, I think about midnight. I watched all of them that were on TV.
Man, going to be so fun. Tomorrow night, Aztecs, as we said, in Seattle. And then you come home to take on Army, runs the triple option against Coach Long's 3-3-5 defense. If you want to have some fun out at the yard, that's going to happen next Saturday night at 4:30. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. Safe travels. We'll just tell you safe travels to you and your team. We're looking forward to watching the game. Come home with a huge win.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot for having me on.